Okay. My name is Margaret Farmer, and I'm co-chair of the Jeffreys Point Neighborhood Association. Rachel Blomarth, who is our other co-chair, was unavailable to attend this evening, and we are very happy for her that she was able to go on vacation. So I will turn it over to Andrew to introduce himself.
I'm Andrew Pike. I'm the JPNA treasurer.
I'm Mary Cole. I'm the Jeffreys Point secretary. And Susan, do you want to introduce yourself as our newest board member?
Hi, everyone. I'm Susan Huang.
We will be installing Susan officially in September, but we wanted to get her up and going. And so she has been very kind to agree to attend all of the meetings in preparation for coming on in September. We're also joined this evening, I can see, by a couple of members of our Planning and Zoning Committee. I see Karen Madalena has joined us this evening. And that is it from the Planning and Zoning. We may be joined by others later. A couple of quick announcements. I do not see it, just for the record, I don't see anybody on the phone for us to introduce. Next Friday night, August 27th, will be our second movie night in Brophy Park. It is going to be a Disney movie, which is a recent release, so it needs to remain nameless at this time, but we guarantee you a good time. Activities start at 7:30, with the movie starting closer to 8 p.m. as soon as we believe it's dark enough to start. All are welcome. This is free and open to the entire community, and we hope to see you there. As a reminder, the primary for the mayoral and city councilor at large elections is scheduled for Tuesday, September 14th. Again, this is the primary, with the final election happening November 2nd. However, we encourage everyone to get out and vote. Make a plan for whether you vote before or after work that day, whether you'll be able to vote in advance, but make sure you get out and vote. Registration is still available to register for this election. You can do that until August 25th at 8 p.m. You can find additional information online at www.boston.gov. Also, at the request of the community and of the Jeffreys Point Neighborhood Association, we had a presentation by the new owners of the Marginal Street Shipyard a few months ago. At our request, Anne and Charles Lagasse, the new owners of the shipyard, will be returning to the JPNA in November to talk about, to answer additional questions and talk more about their plan for the future of the shipyard. We're going to start this evening with 3 Ardee Street. This is a first presentation. The proposal is to erect an 840 square foot roof deck with an addition. The property owner is Garrett Riddle, who I do not, yes, his wife.
I'm here in his absence. I'm his fiance, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel. It is a pleasure to meet you. I am going to share my desktop.
Perfect.
And move us over to seeing your, there we go.
Yeah.
And to seeing your presentation.
Awesome. Thanks so much. I'll try and keep this as quick and concise as possible, but thanks everyone for the time this evening. I'm going to be talking about 3 Ardee Street, unit number 3, and the request to add a roof deck to that building. So if you're going to just scroll down, on the right there is the outside view of 3 Ardee Street. Unit 3 is the top unit. We have the entire floor. And then on the right there is a satellite view of 3 Ardee Street. This is a drawing of the site plan with the 840 square foot proposed roof deck with a head house. If you would scroll down. The proposal is for renovation of an existing interior stair within an exclusive use stairwell that we would build up to access through a head house, as well as a drawing of the addition of the head house and access stairwell and exclusive use roof deck with glass railing. So everyone is aware. We have explored all options. We have a balcony off of our unit. Unfortunately, it is not accessible to get access to the roof. It's about 5 inches too small. And unfortunately, to break through and have a hatch is also not an option. Our ceiling height is 9 feet, whereas the other units in the building are 11 feet. So that was not an option. So the proposal to access the roof by adding additional stairs from within is unfortunately, or is the option that we're presenting today. So if you would scroll down, the green outlined area is the new, and the black outlined area is the existing drawing of the staircase and head house. This is a picture of the drawing of the addition with the overall height being 53 feet and 2.5 inches. It shows the drawing of the head house as well as the roof deck right there. This is a picture of the roof today. It's an existing roof that's flat with no equipment, drains, or vents. The proposed materials, decking would be a Trek Select composite board with the siding matching the existing facade, and the railing we are proposing to be glass. This is the requested variances, including the roof access, the building height, and then no change for this, but the rear yard was already approved a variance when the building was built. Our contact information and just all the status update of this project and the future pieces that would be required before breaking ground. And with that, I'll open up to any questions.
So right now I don't have any questions in the chat. Unfortunately, we were not able to get a butters list together before the meeting this evening. So if anybody does have a question and they'd like to speak aloud, since we're such a small meeting tonight, feel free to raise your hand or unmute yourself and ask the question. Nope.
Okay, so actually I had a question. So how,
Oh, okay, go ahead.
I did send it through the chat.
Yes.
Could you tell us, so how high is the building currently?
If I believe it's, I'd have to go back and let me look at the slide. I don't have that off the top of my head. I apologize.
And then, so while you're looking, and then the other question I have is just how far back from the front would the proposed deck be? Like, is it recessed back like 2 feet? Is it up to like the front of the building? Like, if you could just give us an idea.
Yeah, so it's, according to the drawings, I believe it's 5 feet.
Okay, so it's 5 feet back from the front of the building.
Correct,
Okay.
correct. And I'll have to pull up the plans in a different view. Unfortunately, it's too small for me to see. So let me dig back and I can get back to you with that answer.
Okay, and then I know I'm like asking a ton of questions here,
that's
but
fine.
I did have one question. And I'm asking this because I think it's a question that at the monthly meeting people would ask. I don't necessarily think it's something that should hold you up, but do you have an idea of whether or not the head house would block anyone else's view?
Yeah, so there's a new building that is being built right next to us, which also has a head house and on their roof deck. So I know during one of our abutters meetings, that was a point of question with that head house. You know, I think in terms of how much of a view it would obstruct, I would think very limited. The head house is trying to be as minimal as possible with just one access door, whereas that individual's head house has 2. So I would think it'd be very minimally obstructed as well. The few other neighbors around us all have head houses as well. So I wouldn't see that being a major issue in the immediate, neighbors and abutters.
Okay, and when you say the new building, are you talking about in the empty lot closer to Maverick or on Ardee Street across from you?
It's on the corner of Ardee and Maverick.
Okay, so actually that's really helpful because like Ardee Street is at like a little bit of an angle if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Yep.
So like you're talking about, so someone below you, like you're not blocking their, like if they're below you, you're not blocking their view. So
Correct.
that's very helpful.
And we do have another question. Patty, if you want to unmute yourself, go ahead.
Thanks, Andrew. Yeah, what's the height of the head house?
So it's 53 feet and 2.5.
No, not the height of the building, the head house itself.
how tall is the head house?
Yes.
Let me see if I can pull that information up with the small drawings. I apologize. I don't have that off the top of my head. I believe it looks to be 7 feet.
And you still have not found the height of the building?
Unfortunately, I can't read the drawing with this proposal. I'll have to go back into my my other documents and provide an update.
So off the top, so if
It's 7 feet, so you would
it's 7 feet from the 53, so it's probably
So,
somewhere around 46?
42 or yeah.
Patty, according to the presentation, the overall height, including the head house, is
It's
53 feet.
Okay, thank you.
So the building's probably 45 actually. Because if you take 53 minus the 7, it's 46, but I'd be willing to bet that there's like a little bit of like 6 inches here, 6 inches there.
Yeah,
And-
step of some sort, yeah. Yep.
Yeah, the standard height is 35, so someone asking for a variance of another floor would have asked for 10 feet, so it's probably 45 feet.
Yeah, it is 45. You're right.
Okay, Mary's got her.
No, it's 43. And then 45 is where the deck itself will be.
Correct.
And then
I-
53 includes the head house.
Yeah, I zoomed in on page 6 of the slides, and on page 6 of the slides, if you zoom way in, it says the overall height of the whole thing, including the head house, is 53 feet, 2.5 inches.
Yeah,
And the height to the top of the roof is 43 feet, 6.5 inches.
Yeah.
I'm so impressed you can read that. That is so tiny.
Yeah,
I zoomed
apologize.
way in.
I can't read that. I'm very impressed.
No, I did the massive zoom.
He's giving us thumbs up. Okay. Okay, do we have any more questions?
sorry, I'm not on that screen. Doesn't look so. If anybody else has a question, feel free to unmute yourself now or forever hold your peace. Okay.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much. Next up, we have 295 Webster Street, which is going to take me 1 second to load up. This is also a first presentation. It's a certify use and occupancy of a 3-family dwelling. It is owned by the McDonough family, but is being represented this evening by Acorn Development, who is Alyssa and Aaron Dagno. And I will have your presentation up in, oh, I think I have it here actually.
Great, thank you. So good evening, everyone. Mary Lou and Fernando are on the call with us. Longtime East Bostonians. Tore down an original home to build this home and stay in Jeffries Point. These plans here before you represent the first, second, and third floor. First floor is a 2-bedroom unit. The second and third floor is a bi-level 3-bedroom unit. If you could go to the next slide, please.
Oh, this seems to be only one page.
Okay. There aren't any. There's a plot plan. There's a zoning code refusal. And then the existing 2 permit pages. You only have the one?
Let me look. It's possible that I have roof deck plans. Hold on, let me go to the folder.
All of
It's
the
okay.
files were sent as individual files, so instead of one PDF, so she's gonna have to open another document.
Okay, I can rescan and send as one for the next presentation for ease of use. If you want to put the roof deck plan up, I can move to that.
Okay,
They should all be in
Whatever
the
works for you.
August folder, Margaret.
yep, I have them all in the folder, yeah. I just, here we go. I have the roof deck plan.
Okay, thank you. So one of the permit applications, which will require Board of Appeal approval, is for a roof deck. The existing home, and I'll double check this for our next meeting, but I'm highly confident it was under the height restriction when we originally built this home. I believe it's around 32 to 33 feet at the street, and then there's a grade that slopes off towards the back. So kind of picking up on where we left off with this last presentation, we would be approximately 39 to 40 feet in height with the head house of 7 feet as a new structure to access the roof deck. And then to address from the front facade of the building, it's approximately 26 feet back. You'll see a dimension here that represents 29.5, but that's actually to the bay. So I think a more accurate and conservative figure would be 26 feet, because that bay is obviously approximately the difference, 3.5 feet. So it's positioned to be at the back of the home. That's really all I have for this slide.
Okay,
Go to
we'll move
one,
to
please.
another one. So I have the certified plot plan for 295. Do you want
Yeah,
to?
that'd be great. Yes, please.
Okay.
So the home is situated to the right side of the lot. There is parking on the left where it reads paved driveway for one car. There's a carport built there where there's access from the bi-level unit out on top of that carport. The unit that's being proposed in a second zoning code refusal that we'll be asking for relief from is for the garden level unit. And the garden level unit, as the grade drops off to the rear, egresses with a full height door, no stairs, at the area where the letters porch read, just for a point of reference. And we'll see that in the next slide more accurately depicted. If you could go to the garden level renovation slide, please.
I have zoning code refusal letter. And then
Okay,
I
go to
have,
that.
oh, I think this might be the garden level reno.
Okay, that'd be great if that works.
I don't know about that. It's oriented the wrong way here.
Okay. We can work with it right there. So at the right of this depiction is the front, the street, Webster Street. The stairs that are depicted in the top right corner of the floor plan are from the front door and in turn the hallway. And those stairs are stacked for all units up and down in the building. And then to the rear of the unit where the one bedroom is, you'll see the doorway that is full height that egresses out into a very small courtyard that they have at the rear of the property. And this is the subject unit for one of the Board of Appeals, which we do have a zoning code refusal for. And that's the last slide, please. You can see here it's parking off-street, it's parking in sufficient lot area, floor area, and usable open space for that unit. We have not received a zoning code refusal for the roof deck. Everything was submitted at the same time. We've continued to follow up weekly. We suspect that we'll have height and roof access, as will be over the 35 feet by approximately 4 to 5 feet. As soon as we have that, we will submit it. And that's the balance of the presentation. If Mary Lou or Fernando would like to speak to the proposal, I'd like to give them that opportunity if it works for you.
Okay, is there anyone else who has any questions on the project? Feel free to unmute yourself. We're a small group tonight. We're allowing anyone to speak if they'd like to.
Oh, Mary's got her hand up.
I just wanted to be really clear. So there, basically, this is 2 elements of new construction. Element 1 is a roof deck with a head house, and element 2 is a new garden level unit.
Correct. They are separately applied for as permits. They're both going to have separate Board of Appeal numbers.
Okay. Will
I
they
do have
be-
one question. Oh, sorry, go ahead, Mary.
No, it's fine. Will they be linked? Sometimes they do that with separate numbers at the Board of Appeal. They link them.
We hope they're linked in terms of the process of timing. We de-linked them on purpose, given if one moves forward and and one does not. We didn't want the other to be held back time-wise.
Okay.
So that's why they were delinked in the permitting process and will remain so in terms of the Board of Appeal application number. We obviously hope they'll give us similar dates and we can track accordingly for efficiency and appearances.
Mary Lou is asking if we can take her off mute. Is it possible to do that?
Let me see.
She can hear
All
us.
I can do is ask her to unmute herself. It doesn't let me unmute her because she muted herself.
Okay. So Mary, if you want to text something in, you unmuted yourself. Good job.
Okay, sorry, we're not two computer wizards.
We're in the 70s, yeah.
So I just would like to say to the board and to Aaron, thank you for listening to us. But these two lots that I was born and my family was raised, I'm 70 years old, but we were all lived here. The parking lot was a one-family house, and this house was a three-family house. I lived in the lot next to me, was born and raised there, which is, I don't know what the address is, but what we wanted to do, we're getting older, and we have everything blocking us right now that's built on Marginal Street. And I would just like to be considered to make it back to, it's actually, I have really a four-family with the house that was next door, and this house was zoned for a three-family, this lot. So it's really a four-family. I'm only asking for a three-family. If you would consider it, I would really appreciate it. And I would like to go enjoy the fireworks on the deck if I can, because everybody has blocked it. So I really appreciate your time.
Okay. Thank you, Mary Lou.
Thank you.
293 was the original other address. So if it's looked up online through city records, you'll see 293-295 Webster Street.
Right.
And can you just clarify, it got listed as one of the variances that you're looking for is FAR. Could you explain what the current FAR is and what the new FAR would be? So we understand like how big a change that would be?
Yeah, so I'd have to first ask how you'd like me to calculate it because it's two lots or it was. So do you want me to calculate it with everything considered that is on this one plot plan? And if so, I'll do it. I can send it to you. I don't have that figure. I think that's the most accurate way is now it's lived this way. But I could understand someone saying, no, just consider it on its singular lot, if you will. So you
Right, we
tell me what
combined
the
it,
pleasure of the
Aaron.
board is, and I can do it.
Didn't we combine the lots? No, it's still two different.
According to the city assessor's website, it's still two separate lots.
I mean, I think the biggest issue is that we can see the change between the two, just so that people can understand.
I get that.
And also I would ask to see what the city based their ruling on. So the city had to come up with a calculation to deem the floor area ratio excessive. So what numbers were the city using?
Okay, fair
So ideally we
question. I'll take
calculate it
notes.
the same way as the city does.
Okay, so I'll have to reach out to the plans examiner to make sure I get that number accurate. And that's the pleasure of the board to follow his method of math. Correct? Okay, will do.
You can have understanding. Do we have any other additional questions? Oh, Mary has her hand up. Yep.
I know I have another one, just because that garden level unit will be at the bottom of the house, is your lot in a floodplain or part of the floodplain?
It is not.
That's good.
Okay. And then, so will you be, so then I asked the question of the other project, so I'd like to ask it of this one, like, do you know if the roof deck would block anybody else's view? I mean, I think you're at an angle, so I think you're okay, but we did ask it of the other project.
Yeah, fair question. I'd have to spend some time on that to give you a truly accurate answer. My guess is it must at some point infringe with, as you were to drive down Sumner Street, my mind's eye, I could envision a couple of the homes maybe on that crest a little bit higher looking, east or southeast, I think it would be. It probably would change their view slightly. We've made it de minimis. I mean, the actual roof of that is at 3.5 feet, sloping with the staircase, as you can imagine, for proper head height inside to the 7 maximum. So it's as small as it can possibly be. I would tell you this, the homes across the street would probably not be affected, but the homes just a few up Sumner Street probably would have some small change.
And do you know what, like, have you made a decision about what materials you would use?
Certainly the siding of the head house would match. So we'd be with hardy plank and PVC trim, appropriate shingles on the slope of that roof. The roof deck materials had not been chosen last time we spoke. Mary Lou, Fernando, if you've figured that out since.
Yeah,
if
you
you
know,
share.
Aaron, it would be the best of quality. Mary Lou was looking at, she would like a nice see-through. We thought maybe glass, so you could see clearly through. If not, we could go vintage with whatever would be.
I think I decided not on the glass because it might be too hot up there and the wind, I was just worried about the winds because the winds are really bad at
Yeah, I
on
would've
this house.
too.
Yeah.
But something very transparent though for all.
Okay.
Just, I would
Maybe
encourage,
like the
we-
deck that we have on the side of the house, the same thing as that, the white, what's that called? The same thing we have on the side of the deck on the second floor, probably match that.
okay. So I just want to clarify, like, the JPNA can't dictate what your materials would be. But I will say that many people are always asked that question at the voting, like, you're gonna get asked that question at the voting meeting, and people will take that into account when they make their vote. So just be aware of
Very good.
that. We're not
Very good.
dictating,
Good.
like, we're trying to set you up. Part of this is to make sure that you have everything ready, so that when the time comes that you do get to a voting meeting, that you can answer every question, that you can respond to every concern at the same time. So that, just be aware that will come up.
Thank
Thank
you.
you,
For the
Mary.
heads up.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Absolutely. Do we have any additional questions about either project? Okay, so thank you everyone for coming this evening. It is wonderful to see all of you, and thank you so much. A reminder that the next JPNA meeting will be on Monday, September 13th, and we are going to remain on Zoom for at least the next several months due to what is going on. We think it is the safest choice to remain, as much as we miss you and want to see all of you. We think it's the safest choice to remain remote at this time. The JPNA, the board, and the Planning and Zoning Committee will stay on after this is complete, and we'll have a discussion about what's going on, and the next steps for these projects will either be published in the meeting minutes, which will come up on our jeffreyspoint.org website, and or Rachel will email you when she returns from her vacation in a couple of days. So you will have an answer very soon. And so thank you very much for joining us, and Andrew can turn off the recording because the meeting is finished.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
you.